Sri Lanka is one of the most beautiful countries in the world. Known for its fascinating hills and serene sea beaches, Sri Lanka is a hidden gem in the vast wilderness of Indian Ocean. In this video, we'll go through 10 of the most amazing facts about this island nation, Sri Lanka. Number 1. World's oldest surviving human-planted tree. Jaya Sri Maha Bodhi is a historical sacred Bo tree in the Mahamuna Garden in historical city of Anuradhapura, Sri Lanka. At more than 2,300 years old, it is the oldest living human-planted tree in the world with a known planting date. Historic book, the Mahavamsa, or the Great Chronicle of the Sinhalese, provides an elaborate account of this tree being planted in Sri Lanka. As per historic records, Sangamita Mahathari, a daughter of Indian Emperor Ashoka, brought this tree cutting to Sri Lanka during the reign of Sinhalese King Devanampiya Tissa in 288 BC. Number 2. Cinnamon export. Sri Lanka is the world's largest producer and exporter of pure cinnamon to the world, with pure Ceylon cinnamon suppliers from Sri Lanka claiming 90% of global market share. In the cinnamon family, the highest grade cinnamon comes from Ceylon cinnamon, a plant indigenous to Sri Lanka. Cinnamon grown and produced in Sri Lanka has acquired a long-standing reputation in the international market due to its unique quality, color, flavor, and aroma. The name Ceylon cinnamon is derived from the country's colonial name and is an established geographical indication for cinnamon grown in Sri Lanka. With growing concerns about health hazards associated with synthetic flavoring agents in the food industry, there is an increasing preference for natural flavors such as cinnamon worldwide. Cinnamon is used as a food ingredient in bakery products, Asian foods, and tea for its distinctive flavor and aroma. Number 3. Buddha's Tooth Relic. The relic of the tooth of Buddha is venerated in Sri Lanka as a sacred relic of Lord Buddha, who is the founder of Buddhism. According to Sri Lankan legends, when the Buddha died in 543 BC, his body was cremated in a sandalwood pyre at Kushinagar, and his left canine tooth was retrieved from the funeral pyre by his disciple, Kema, who later gave it to King Brahmadat for veneration. It became a royal possession in Brahmadat's country and was kept in the city of Dantapuri, modern-day Odisha. A belief grew that whoever possessed the tooth relic had a divine right to rule that land. There are accounts of multiple wars and loots planned to capture the tooth in the past. Relic was moved to multiple cities by multiple kings and finally, it was brought to Kandy where it is at present, in the Temple of the Tooth. Number 4. Town of Nuwara Eliya. Nuwara Eliya is a British-built town located in the central province of Sri Lanka. Known for its temperate and cool climate, it used to be a favorite holiday retreat for the British elite. The city was founded by Samuel Baker, the explorer of Lake Albert and the Upper Nile in 1846. Nuwara Eliya was called Little England and served as a hill country retreat, where the British colonialists could immerse themselves in their pastimes such as fox hunting, deer hunting, elephant hunting, polo, golf and cricket. According to John Gimlet, a British travel writer, Nuwara Eliya is the place where they go to be cold and damp and imagine they're in England. Number 5. English word, serendipity. English word, serendipity means an unplanned fortunate discovery. It is a very common English word, with its occurrence seen throughout the history of product invention and scientific discovery. Serendipity has a very interesting connection with Sri Lanka. The word comes from Sarandib, an old Persian name for Sri Lanka used by Arab traders, which later transformed to Serendib. The word itself is derived from the Sanskrit word Sahaladpa, where Sahala means Sri Lanka and Dpa means island. The word has been exported into many other languages, with the general meaning of unexpected discovery or fortunate chance. The first noted use of serendipity was by English writer Horace Walpole on January 28, 1754, in a letter which he wrote to his friend. Number 6. First female Prime Minister. Sirimavo Bandaranaike was a Sri Lankan politician and the world's first female prime minister when she became Prime Minister of Sri Lanka in 1960. She chaired the Sri Lanka Freedom Party from 1960 to 1994 and served 3 terms as Prime Minister. Born into a Sinhalese Kandyan aristocratic family, Bandaranaike was educated in Catholic, English medium schools, but remained a Buddhist and spoke Sinhala as well as English. She was a strong aide to her husband Solomon Bandaranaike, who founded Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Following her husband's assassination in 1959, Sirimavo took over party leadership and later ended up becoming the Prime Minister of the country. Number 7. Tea plantation. Tea plantation is a big industry in Sri Lanka. It accounts for 2% of total GDP and employs, directly or indirectly, over 1 million people. It contributed over $1.3 billion in 2021 to the economy of Sri Lanka. The humidity, cool temperatures, and rainfall of the country's central highlands provide a climate that favors the production of high-quality tea. On the other hand, tea produced in low-elevation areas such as Madura, Gal, and Ratnapura districts with high rainfall and warm temperature has a high level of astringent properties. The tea biomass production itself is higher in low-elevation areas. Sri Lanka produces mostly orthodox black teas but also produces CTC, white and green teas. The industry was introduced to the country in 1867 by James Taylor, a British planter who arrived in 1852 and continues to remain an important crop for the island nation. Number 8. Elephant Orphanage. Pinnawala Elephant Orphanage is an orphanage, nursery and captive breeding ground for wild Asian elephants located at Pinnawala village in Sabaragamua province of Sri Lanka. Pinnawala has the largest herd of captive elephants in the world. In 2011, there were 96 elephants, including 43 males and 68 females from 3 generations. Established in 1975 by the Sri Lanka Department of Wildlife Conservation (DWC), the orphanage was founded to care and protect orphaned wild elephants found wandering within the forests of Sri Lanka. Number 9. Dominance in cricket. Cricket is the most popular sports in Sri Lanka. Despite being a small nation, Sri Lanka is one of the 12 nations that take part in Test cricket, and one of the 6 nations that has won a Cricket World Cup. Cricket is played at professional, semi-professional and recreational levels in the country, and international cricket matches are watched with interest by a large proportion of the population. Sri Lanka was a British colony and like many other British colonies, cricket was introduced in this island nation in early 1800s. The Colombo Cricket Club was the first cricket club formed in November 1832. Since then, the sport has grown domestically with major events such as the Premier Trophy, dating from 1938, and the Premier Limited Overs Tournament, starting 1988 to 89. Number 10. Gems Industry. Sri Lanka's gem industry has a very long and colorful history. Sri Lanka was affectionately known as Ratnadweepa, which means Gem Island, which reflects its natural wealth. Marco Polo wrote that the island had the best sapphires, topazes, amethysts, and other gems in the world. Ptolemy, the 2nd century astronomer, recorded that beryl and sapphire were the mainstay of Sri Lanka's gem industry. Records from sailors that visited the island states that they brought back jewels of Serendib. It has been estimated that nearly 25% of the total land area of Sri Lanka is potentially gem-bearing, making Sri Lankan land one of highest density of gem deposits compared to its landmass. City of Ratnapura contains the most gem deposits. City's name, Ratnapura, literally means City of Gems. What do you think? Did we miss something? Please let us know your feedback in the comment section. If you enjoyed our content and want to watch more, do like this video and subscribe to Qreus.